Welcome, my music theory warriors. I'm Dr. Tristan Egner. I'd like to introduce you to my new online class, Music Theory Form and Analysis, made specifically for you, the graduate students here at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Now, who am I? Well, I'm kind of a big deal. And how can you tell that? Well, sometimes I wear a tweed jacket, and other times people call me doctor. And other times, I'll put on a hat like this. Now, how could you doubt the integrity or knowledge of someone wearing this hat? Just look at it. And then twice a year, my job description makes me dress up like this. Wow, just look at that. I mean, obviously, I'm some kind of wizard specializing in the undefinable and unexplainable phenomenon that we call music. I was normal once, like all of you, until I took a great journey to discover the secrets of our musical language. Long ago, I climbed a mountain in parts unknown, looking for the secret ivory tower of musical knowledge. The trip was long and arduous. I faced bitter cold, blizzards, dangerous animal attacks, and treacherous terrain. Every step was a struggle, and I doubted my own survival. But then I reached the top. Golden gates appeared before me and opened to a choir of angelic voices. I knew I had reached musical nirvana, and it was there that the power of music theory was bestowed upon me in a great flash of light. My mind was flooded with knowledge of intervals, chord types, progressions, and musical form. I had found my true destiny to spread my new powers to southeastern Oklahoma State and beyond, to set the world ablaze with the mystic music theory secrets that only I have obtained. Let it spread like wildfire across the world to those that were worthy to receive it. I had transcended the normal world into a musical utopia, where the music we cherish and love became nothing more than patterns and permutations. I am the one, and there can be only one. Actually, that's not really how it happened at all. I went to school for music, and I took some theory classes with guys with PhDs in theory, and I was totally bored out of my mind. We did a lot of part writing. We learned dozens of rules for voice leading, and slogged our way through exercises, spending an inordinate amount of time on post-tonal theory, things like hexachordal combinatoriality, tone rows, set classes, interval vectors, and that's not necessarily the training that made me the musician I am today. I would consider myself self-taught in music theory and passed out of half of my undergrad and all of my graduate theory classes. And my method was basically this. I sat at a piano and effectively and methodically learned every chord and every scale. Not only did this make me a competent piano player in the process, but I was able to use that method to every other instrument that I play. So I played professionally in orchestras, chamber ensembles, big bands, country bands, cover bands. I played for cocktail hours, weddings, musicals, polka bands, Dixieland bands, wind ensembles. I've arranged and composed a ton of music. I've got original jazz compositions that have been featured in Downbeat magazine, albums that have had Grammy consideration. I've been all over the world doing amazing things. And now I've got this great career going as a university professor, and I get to talk about music all day. I don't think I could have had an ounce of my success without having sat at a piano and figured out the basics. And I can't stress the piano enough. It allows you to visualize and see chordal structures while at the same time it trains your ear to hear qualities and tonal relationships. The proudest moments that I've ever had, actually, have been hearing something, maybe an orchestral piece, or something I just go, yeah, how does that work? And I get the score, I sit at the piano, and I figure out what it is about that music that makes me like it so much, and that's really a great moment. Now, am I saying that my life journey in music thus far is somehow enlightened or more relevant than anyone else's? Well, certainly not. Not at all. But I do feel that understanding music theory unlocks your potential to do anything you want in music, no matter what your true ambitions are. It makes you versatile. And a versatile musician will have a great advantage to making their passion into a satisfying career. No one says being a musician is easy, but we can all help our chances by learning the basics of our language. See, a lot of people define themselves by one instrument that they play, or the range, or the style that they sing. And I never liked that idea. Tuba was my first instrument, and upon meeting people for the first time, they identify me as just a tuba player, a tubist. And I believe in a true musician is more than that. And they're a musician first. Now, someone who understands what our musical language as it is, how it works, and how to manipulate and communicate it, that's a musician. So we get so caught up in the mastery of maybe one musical instrument or genre that we cut ourselves off to a whole world of possibilities. Okay, I'll get real. As a musician, understanding music theory is liberating in so many ways. Like any language that you learn, it requires memorization and time. Once you have the fundamentals down, you'll quickly realize that from classical to jazz to anything, it's all about patterns, expectations, consonance, dissonance, and form. From extremely complicated music from the Romantic era to the simple pop songs we have today, it's all following a set of rules. And this class is about approaching music theory from that perspective. So we'll start with a 4-week intensive review of the basic rules of chords and harmony. Some of this may be a review to many of you, but there's nothing wrong ever with a refresher in chords and functional harmony. I have to do it all the time because it's the backbone of all the analysis that we're going to be doing. I'll be expecting you to play some piano for me. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, it's going to help you visualize the chords even when you are away from the piano. And 2, being adept at the piano opens a whole realm of possibilities when it comes to composition, arranging, and with enough practice, even accompanying, playing by ear, and figuring out progressions in chordal movement on the spot. It's the perfect tool for developing your musical ear as well. Once we're comfortable with the basics, we're going to touch on musical form and micro and macro analysis. We'll start with simple chorales straight from hymnal books, and then we'll move chronologically from the Baroque to the Impressionist era, and ending with some standard choir and band repertoire. Our final large project will tackle one of the greatest and long-standing forms of all time, sonata allegro form. You might have touched on this on earlier theory classes, but trust me, it's worth going back to. At the end of the class, I hope you will feel empowered knowing that you can read and hear music in a new and educated way. Then in future classes, we can use this confidence to write our own arrangements and compositions. So, this course is laid out week to week. Assignments are due the last Sunday of every week. You'll need to be able to scan or capture your work to upload it to me online. It should all be pretty straightforward. Never hesitate to contact me if you need help or you have questions. I'll be appearing hopefully once a week with a video because I think online it's kind of nice to have at least some kind of figure in front of you to either love or hate. I think it just completes the class experience. So each week, check the folder of the week that it is, see what the assignment is, see the tutorial there, and and just if you follow that, everything's going to be just fine. So never hesitate to contact me. So I wish you all the best of luck, and I look forward to working with all of you.